If you're not like Thomas, don't come into my life. Ever. There is no love story between Miss Lily Rose Depp and Nosferatu. Nosferatu wasn't bad. You're just stupid. Hi. Today I'm going to be talking about Nosferatu. Not the original, the new one. I watched the original, the 1920-something silent film, before this one, the new one, became what it is. And I haven't seen the other one, the Nosferatu the Vampire. I haven't watched that yet. I want to, though. But as I watched the new Nosferatu, I fell in love. I loved the first one. The first one scared the shit out of me. Couldn't sleep. And it's a silent film. So, I was actually scared. And I love horror. I love vampires, dark things. Not like in real life. I had to make that clear to the universe. But that's one of my favorite genres. So, obviously, I was so excited to see Nosferatu. I went to see it with my boyfriend. And as soon as Ellen came on screen, I said, I'm going to be here for Halloween. And wait till October, you'll see. But the point is, I love that movie. And then I went home and saw a bunch of people saying they did not love that movie. So I want to say most of the people who didn't like the movie are making fun of it. Also, disclaimer, I'm not a critic. I don't really care. I'm just saying this because I really like the movie and it's something I'm passionate about. I'm not I don't actually think you're stupid, okay? You're entitled to your opinion. It doesn't matter. I'm not bothered by it. I didn't direct it. I just personally love it, and I don't know. I just really like the movie. So, that's my disclaimer. Now let's get into it. I wrote down some of the reasons why I love the movie so much. And yeah, okay. So it says, why Nosferatu isn't bad. The opening scene begins with Lily Rose, Ellen, as really lost and distraught, and she's in a black background, and then you see that she's at night, and she's calling out for something. I'm pretty sure she literally says anything, hear my call, something, anything, pretty much. And to me, that was her calling for literally something and anything, because she's so alone and lonely at that stage in her life that she needed something. And a lot of people can relate to turning to dark things, to darkness, whatever your vices may be. But that's what hers was. And with that call, she awakened Nosferatu. Also, I'm using my phone as a mic. Yeah. Anyways, it's going away. What was I talking about? Oh, she called Nosferatu, woke up, and possessed her for the first time, pretty much. He saw her darkness, was captivated by it, and fed off of it, as most stories of monsters and demons and entities do. So yeah, I think the opening scene is really powerful, and I also think it's pretty clear that it then jumps forward to a different time in her life. She wanders outside, I believe, and gets convulses, if you know what I mean. And just, it really shows that darkness that is within her is, I don't know how to say, but it's real. And I can't remember if this was a key factor in the original, but it's important to note that her character is supposed to be a character who has always, remember, this is like 100,000 freaking years ago. So it's like in the time when women having any intuition or third realm or anything that wasn't like perfect was insane, clinically crazy insane. So her character is supposed to be this, how do I say, like, mysterious, confused, crazy, depressed, lost character who later in the story, as it picks up after the opening scene, found a light, which was Thomas. And what a freaking goosh he is. Oh my gosh. For those that don't know what goosh means, it's a word I made up like forever and a day ago for my little cousin. But it's like super cute, super, like there's no other word for it. It's just like, goosh. So yeah, goosh. Okay, next point is the sex appeal. This I'm a little 50-50 on. I kind of hate that 90% of movies now always have so much to do with sex. Sex sells, I get it, but I also want to see something that doesn't have a bunch of sex. Like in the original, there was still the sense of yearning and love and devotion and everything else that are points I'm going to hit. But obviously because of the time probably it was made, sex wasn't the seller. I just wish there was more of a way directors could show less sex appeal, but still keeping the sex appeal, like almost a mystery, if that makes sense. Like, you know, when there's so much tension on the screen and it never gets broken and it's just like yearning for it. Like, I'm trying to think of an example. Okay, Leonardo DiCaprio has never done a sex scene, at least to my knowledge. He's got, well, besides like that one with Margot Robbie, but that doesn't really count because it was pathetic. But it's like you always feel the tension, but he never gave, you know, what a lot of people would want. So yeah, okay. Next point is the original storyline. It lines up pretty much exact. Obviously a few modifications, adaptations, sex appeal, as I just said. But really, other than that, it's solid. And like I said, the original has become, like, the first time I watched it had become one of my favorite horror films because I don't know what it is. I haven't watched it since then, and I'm literally afraid to watch it because I couldn't sleep for 3 days, guys. Like, they didn't even speak. I think it's just because he looks so, like, ooh. Oh, that's something I don't like. Let me switch the tune from good to bad real quick. I get it, okay? He was supposed to look Romanian or whatever they call him. He was supposed to look accurate to the times, like what a real vampire would have looked like. I don't care. I was annoyed. I was looking at, like, I get it. I really get it. I swear to God, I get it. I just don't care. Like, I just wish that they would have let that actuality go and give me the creepy, bald rat man that I was expecting, because I'm kind of happy they didn't, because I probably wouldn't have been able to sleep if they did. But I was just checking my candles, I was so confused. I saw the stash and I was like, is this part of his disguise, or like what's going on, because they were in the castle, and the stash never went away. I think I was really looking forward to seeing the original, you know, the 1920s, super spooky, like teeth, ears, brows, stature kind of guy in a modern way with a higher quality, to see if it really could scare me, because there's no horror movie that really scares me that can't make me sleep. Like truly, that's why it's so shocking that the original one did. But yeah, that's my negative. something else I love is the fashion in the movie. Chef's kiss. Do you guys know the like vibes of book covers or old movies or just art that's been created over the years of the woman, the classic heroine woman, like running in distress away from the Gothic castle in the back? I'm gonna put a pic right here of one that I like, because that's the vibe I got from this movie. And I haven't gotten that vibe from a movie, dare I say ever. I'm not gonna say ever, because I know there's one in my mind that I can't think of because it was a super old movie I watched with my grandma and only she knows the name of. But there's like, it's a very rare, and I always look for that feeling. Nosferatu gave me that feeling. Beautiful. The fashion in the men's suits, the men's outfits, Lily's outfit. I keep calling her Lily. Ellen's outfits. Also, it feels weird calling her Lily Rose. I don't know. If I say Lily Rose or Ellen, I'm talking about Lily Rose. You all know her. But it was just so good. Oh, and this is when I knew I was going to like the movie. It's also in one of the opening scenes when Thomas has to go and he gives her the bouquet. And she was like, why would you kill these beautiful flowers? Like, whatever she says. I knew I would like that movie simply because I was like, me. I love flowers. I have flowers in my room. I have roses right here. I don't know if you can see them. But it really makes me sad. And I think it's a very slight character note that Ellen has, because type of person she is. As I said earlier, she's this like weird, insane, mysterious, depressed girl. Somebody who didn't have those traits wouldn't think that about those flowers, and it's a key factor to her character. It's slight, but it speaks volumes. Aaron Taylor Johnson's passion for his wife. Hot take. Graveyard scene, not mad about it. Cancel me. His love and devotion for that woman, he's not the only one. He's first. Thomas is coming up. But the way he cared for her, he hated Ellen. He did not like her. She bothered him. I don't know. That was kind of getting some chemistry between them, and maybe that's why he hated her. But that's like not in the story. That's just me. But Ellen's hysteria drove him to insanity. But it also killed his family. His family, who he didn't want her in his house. Not at all. His wife did. So he said, yeah. He said, anything for you, because he loved her. He loved her in his soul, in his heart, with his mind, with his body. He yearned for her. He loved her. She was his everything. And I think it's such a beautiful portrayal that he lost his kids, he lost his wife, and even in the end, there was nothing. He didn't seek any other vice but her. And I think it's beautiful. Okay. Let me see. Okay. The cat. I'm going to evaluate Lily Rose Depp and Nosferatu and Thomas's love triangle in a minute, because that's the kicker that everybody's talking about. Back in that time, cats, this is kind of around the time where cats were like, you see a black cat, ooh, bad things. Cats are associated with witches and like they're not good, and the plague was going on, and they were said to have the reason the plague got so bad was because so many people were killing cats, God forbid. And the cat, her and Lily are like this, or he and Lily, I don't know, are like this. And it's just amazing that the cat's always with her. And as I said, the cats are always representative to what's going on in the person's life. Like they're always around a witch. In this case, a hysterical, crazy lunatic, as perceived by everybody else. And the cat made it to the end. And I was so happy it did, because I didn't want to see it die. But again, I think that's a really, like the flowers Lily gets at the beginning, I think that's a really smart little detail to put in this movie. Start with the love story. Ready? There is no love story between Miss Lily Rose Depp and Nosferatu. Okay? There's just not. Not from the original and not to now. Nosferatu is a fucking vampire, you guys, okay? Okay? That alone says enough. Lily is a sad girl. It's playing in my head, okay? She's a sad girl who found love. A man, oh my God, this is another point I have. The way Thomas loved her, round of applause. If my husband does not love me the way he loves her, if he does not yearn for me the way he yearned for her, he won't be my husband, okay? I'll put it that way. Okay. I'm at a loss for words. The whole fucking reason him and Nosferatu met was because he was so determined to be financially secure, to be able to start a family with her and buy the life that she deserved and give her what she needed, okay? First of all, that doesn't even happen nowadays. You guys can't even freaking pay for a flower bouquet. What was I talking about? Hold on, I need to drink some tea. Pause. ASMR. Okay. So, he yearned for her. He loved her. The part when she says, oh my gosh, she says, like, get away from me. I'm unclean. Like, girl, stay away. Like, how could you love somebody like me, pretty much? And he crawls to her and loves her and holds her. What? And don't even hit me with, it's just a movie, of course. No, men used to love their women. But the way he loved her was so deep. That was another love. We saw a lot of lust, even though it was true love, lust with Aaron Taylor Johnson's character. But with Thomas, we saw love, as love should be, from your soul, from your body, from your mind, to ignoring your mind. When Lily would tell him about his, I need to stop calling her Lily, when Ellen would tell him about her dreams, and he'd sit there, obviously on his face, saying, bitch, you're crazy, like, shut the hell up. But he'd say, don't speak these words of anguish or despair or whatever, like, don't even think these terrible thoughts, like, you're okay, you're safe, you're protected. Gentle, true love. Oh my God, I'm more passionate about this than freaking he was. That's not true, because he's so passionate. Thomas yearned for her so undeniably out of control. He did quite literally every single thing for her, from the house to he got attacked by that creep in the castle. Okay, I'm talking about Nosferatu. Nosferatu attacked him in the castle multiple times. Also, I like that they made Nosferatu bite the heart instead of the neck, because the neck is very cliche, also sexualized, whatever, but the heart shows true yearning. This movie is a movie of yearning. Oh, so good. Like literally eating your heart out. Great note, great. Anyways, so he's abused, chased, literally should be dead in Nosferatu's castle, and he somehow gets all the way back to Ellen, and she knows he's coming. They're soul tied. She knows. She keeps having, everybody's telling her she's crazy. She knows Nosferatu's coming, but she keeps talking about Thomas. I love them. Thomas did everything for her, and Lily did everything for him. She knew that it had to be her to make this stop, to stop Nosferatu. I am about to cry. Please. And because of how much she loved this man, she loved the man and she loved the world who hated her. The man loved her, but the world hated her. And she gave it all up for him, to save him. He loved that woman so much from the opening scene of trying to do a nice thing and getting her flowers to the last scene of him and her, where he is running literally for her life, not for his. He's running for her life because he was tricked. He now knows that, what's happening is happening with her, Nosferatu, and he's running for her life. Obviously, he didn't get there in time, and she never told him. She let him be him. She let him have his hero. I'm doing what I can. She didn't worry him. She didn't stress. They didn't try to find a workaround. She just accepted defeat, which is another beautiful thing I love about this. She accepted, again, this is parallel to the original storyline. I'm just talking about the adaptation of it because, like I said, I didn't see the middle one, the Nosferatu, the vampire, so I don't know how they did it, but I really like this one. But, she just accepted defeat, and I think it's a beautiful thing that, a lot of times in love, you give up certain things for someone, truthfully, and, you'll just be like, okay, this argument's not worth it, or, sure, I'll listen to this music, I don't really like it, or, you might keep little details from them, like if you're having a surprise party, you won't tell them, like, oh, I need you to, you won't tell them about the surprise party. You'll kind of accept defeat on that for the bigger love. And that's exactly what she did. And I think it's so touching. I was crying in the theater. Swear to God, I was crying in the theater. I think love, personally, love means something so much deeper than the 4-letter word it is. You either know what I mean or you don't. You feel it or you don't. It runs through your veins. It's like, I don't know how to describe it, but oh my God, it was so good. So, moral of the story, that's the love story. Nosferatu is a cloud of darkness. He attached, it's Lily Rose's sanity. It's her weakness from that moment in time. He's a leech, and she loved enough to let the leech get her, which is beautiful. And then one of the last scenes that I love is as he's, okay, let's address it. They do the deed. They do the deed. It's a movie in 2024. Like, what do you expect? She got dressed up nice. Yes, can't remember if she did that in the original, but she got dressed up. It's part of the cinematic experience. It's part of showing she's gonna make it work, it had to be her. It couldn't be like Nosferatu couldn't take from her. She had to give it up for him, and she wanted to make sure that she was doing it for Thomas. Like, oh my God. And so what am I saying? Just rambling. What the fuck am I saying? Okay, so they do the deed, but the son, Nosferatu gets lost in it, he's sucking her blood, she's giving herself up to him at peace, knowing that she's protecting everybody else, and specifically Thomas, and Nosferatu looks up at the sun, which the sun kills him, he's a vampire. He looks up at it, kind of like, oh, fuck, like, oops, oopsies, you know? And she does this thing. She looks at him. The look you would give your partner in bed. She looks at him and, like, with that look of peace and accomplishment, and pulls him back to her chest so he can, like, get lost in it again, so that he doesn't, you know, try to flee or hide or not be, not have his fate become true, you know? Like, she didn't want that moment of realization to be a moment enough where he could possibly get away, where he could not be dead in the next 5 seconds, pretty much. So she looked at him with security and accomplishment, as I said, and overall serenity and love for the greater good of it all. Not for him, for the greater good of it all. And that act of pulling, there's no reason to cry. There's no reason to cry. That act of pulling him back to her chest so he could continue sucking her blood was just like, I have to do this. You know, it was her being like, I have to do this. And she did. And then Thomas runs in, sees his love. Boo-hoo. Defeat. Another example of defeat. And movie's over. The cat lives and the movie's over. And I think if you go into it looking for a scary movie, you might be disappointed, sure. But if you go into it looking for the type of movie that had that cover art I showed earlier, or a gothic romance, here you go. This is your movie. That's the movie for you. Yeah, moral of the story for me, if you're not like Thomas, don't come into my life. Ever. Ever. And I'm serious. Okay. Also, dibs on Ellen for Halloween. I'm sure there's going to be other people who do it, but, like, dibs on Ellen. As soon as I saw her, I said, oh, I'm not cutting my hair for the rest of the year. He was like, I knew it. Anyways, yeah. So that's all my notes. That's my evaluation on Nosferatu. And if you haven't watched it, I'm sorry if you watched this and I spoiled some things, but if you have, let me know, like, if you perceived it this way, or if you think I'm full of shit, or if you have a whole nother way of seeing it, or what. I'm actually really curious to see what you guys thought. And if you haven't watched it, definitely go watch it. Like, watch it thinking about what I said. Watch the original first if you can. You don't really have to. I personally am very happy I did. But yeah, you definitely should watch this. Either way, go into it looking for a gothic romance. You're going to be pleased. Yeah, that's all I have. Thank you so much for watching, as always. And I love you so much. And don't let any vampires get ya. That was so stupid. Or do, if you're into it, you know. I would prefer a Thomas, but whatever. Okay, love you. Bye.